Hey, it's Eric Mengel, OCHO Comics. And, I was talking to someone the other day about making comics. And, I feel like they were on a page and it felt like, oh my God, now I can't find my X-Acto knife. They were on a page and they were on this page for days, multiple days, and like posting like little stories on Instagram about, what they were trying to overcome with this page, and just really taking too long, I felt. And I just was like, at the end of the day, like, you have to do whatever it is you can do to get that page done, because the goal is what? To complete pages. So you want to complete pages. You want to get in, and ideally you want to get out. You want to get moving on these things. You don't want them sitting around, and you got the same page, and next thing you know, it's 2 weeks. I remember hearing once upon a time, the industry standard was a page a day. Jack Kirby penciled like 4 pages a day. I don't know that there's a right or wrong answer, and I think everybody's got to do, what they think is the right thing, but to me, ouch, that's why you don't want to mess with these things. To me, like, I just want to get done with pages, so I'm going to use whatever methods I can to get that finished page, because that's what we're in the business of, is finishing pages and finishing issues and publishing issues. And then, I always say the cool thing about comics is once you're done with the book, you get to do another one. It doesn't stop. I literally finished my OCHO 45 on Saturday, the edits, like going through everything and making sure like everything was up to snuff, and like I had everything in there, and I handed it off to my buddy Damon at our little pizza and draw, and I got out some white pages and I penciled out. Actually, I penciled the first page. The first page I penciled on the Friday. So there's the first penciled page, and then, or inked, and it's finished. And then this is the page that I worked on, the 2 pages that I worked on at the pizza and draw, and that was this past Saturday. And to me, like, I just want to finish these pages. I want to get to the next book. I want to make the most of my time, because I really don't have anything else going on in life right now. I'm not working. I retired maybe like 5 years ago, and I pick up my daughter from school and I do some chores around the house. But there's plenty of time in the day. There really, for me, there's no excuse. And if you want to be respected as a comic book artist, to me, like I see a lot of guys, again, they're doing these great covers, and maybe they will be a cover for Marvel someday, and most likely they probably won't. I just want to get my pages in, and that's why lately, I had my 30th anniversary of making comics. I surpassed 50 issues that OCHO's appeared in, that I've published, and then I've surpassed 1,000 pages of OCHO comics. And to me, that's the real victory. That's the real thing, like, well, how many pages did you draw? I know a lot of artists, they post how many pages they did every year, like how many pages they did that year. I think that's a good measure. I think you have to have some kind of measure. You have to have some kind of standard, something to base your performance from last year to this year. And I just, this page is not, like, all the stuff in the background, it's not even done. But my mindset is, I gotta hustle these pages. So I'm gonna do whatever I can do to give myself that illusion of this page is close to finished. It won't be finished, but it will be closer. And every step that I take gets me a little bit closer to completion. And it's kind of like you see, like, when you're downloading something and it'll be like 37% downloaded, 38, 39%, 40%, 42%. And that's how I feel. I'm racing against that. I'm trying to compete with that number. And it's not to say that I want to go as fast as possible, scribble things out, but you do have to try to make things easy for yourself. Like, try to, like, if you grid your pages out. I lay my pages out on an 8-panel grid. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All my pages are based on that. Now, will every page have that? No. But a page like this, well, I can't do this. I'm tracing this out because I got to put this big sticker on here. So I just think that, you got to set things up for your success. Otherwise, you're setting it up for your failure. And that's a guarantee. That's like your guarantee. If you're not working to make things smarter, then you're working to make things harder. And, like, I mean, we all have our battles. We all have, our hills that we're going to, fight or die on. And for me, like, I just want to get in and out of pages. I want to set it up easy for myself as a writer. I want to set it up easy for myself as an artist. I can understand and have respect for the reality that, it's not always going to be completely easy. It's not always going to be right. It's never going to be perfect. But you know what it will be? It will be mine. It will be something that I did that was of my own volition, of my creation. And to me, that's what I want to do. I just want to be doing that kind of thing. I think, again, it just makes it so much better, And I don't have all the answers. But again, when you sit at a table in a room like this, it's, pretty much quiet and there's nothing else really going on. You do have a lot of time to just sit and think. I do listen to a lot of music, but if I'm videoing something like I am right now, I'm sitting and thinking, like, well, what would be the best way for me to do this? What would be the easiest way for me to do this? So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I kind of passed it on to that guy, and I mean, I don't know if I offended him or not. It's one of those things. Whenever you, like, nudge someone a certain way, like, I'm here to tell you, there's a million different ways to make comics, and people do them the way you want to do them. I would never say you're the wrong for doing this or you're right for doing this. It's not my place to judge or try to figure that out. But what it is, my place is to say, hey, let's work smart at it. Let's work on these things so you can develop your craft, so you can, get in and out of these pages, and you can make that progress, and that progress will yield results. For me, the basic concept is, like, this guy OCHO. Well, I've been drawing him for 31 years, and really it's like closer to like 33 years, 34 years, because I was learning how to draw with this guy. That was my figure that I was moving around, like I was moving around an action figure and trying to draw him in different poses. And that's just the guy that I stuck with all these years. And doing that has made it super easy for me to draw a comic book because it's the same character. And this is my writer's guide skill is, okay, what happens next, you know, and you can use that as what happens next page, or next series of pages, or next story, next issue, or next storyline. You can use any of those kind of what happens next. And I'm constantly thinking about those things. Well, where am I going to go in this issue? Where am I going to go the next issue? When am I going to do in the next story arc? You know, because this is right now. I put out last year. I put out issue 40. I put out issue 41. I put out issue 42. I put out issue 43, and I put out issue 44. This one should not have come out until March. I just was like, let's put it out because it will be 5 issues in 1 year, which I think is pretty good for an indie guy. You know, these are 22-page comics. I think one of them was 26 pages, but I'm just always thinking about what happens next. So realistically, that's 5 issues. 45 just got handed in, and I'm working on 46, and so this storyline goes to issue 49. So like I really kind of need to wrap things up here, you know, in this storyline of the battling and these guys fighting, and you know, and but I'm already thinking ahead, like Ocho gets back home, and when he gets back home, he's just like completely done fighting. Like he's just had enough of the fighting and already, like it's just been too much, and he just needs a break from it. But I'm already, you know, I've already kind of done, like, this is my futures folder. So this will be like him going back home, and this was kind of inspired by Project Hail Mary. And then this was issue 50. Like I started it because I was just I'm tired of drawing all this fighting stuff, and I just want to do back to the, you know, the Ocho, like fun kind of stuff. And this appeared in an anthology anyway, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna do that. But I think it's fun to like kind of flip ahead, and you know, if you've got an idea, like I wanted to do that Face It Ocho, you just hit the jackpot. Like I've wanted to do that for a while. So anyway, my 2 cents. Your goal is to finish these pages. I remember Rob Osborne once said, he's a cartoonist, and he was kind of talking about in the NFL, you know, it's all about yardage. You know, you're trying to get yards and you're trying to get touchdowns. And I think he was using the analogy like yards are pages and issues are touchdowns. And it's true. Like I'm trying to score, man. I'm trying to get this next big break. I'm trying to get the big break in pages, not break. I'm not going to get a big break because nobody really wants to support guys that are doing their own thing. I'd have a lot more likes and a lot more subscribers if I was drawing, you know, Batman illustrations and, you know, whatever, Dr. Doom. It's just because that's what everyone wants to see, because they're kind of stuck. But I really think, like, the credit should be for the dudes that are doing their own thing, because I don't have a corporation behind me. I don't have years of influence behind me. I've, you know, your teenage fanboy dreams of Dr. Doom battling whoever. So I don't know, my 2 cents. Just try to get these pages done, try to get to the next one, try to get this issue done, and try to get to the next one. And it's not going to be perfect, but make it yours and have fun with it, and support indie comics. That's very much it. All right, talk to y'all later.